My name is Amira Mohammed. I am a Palestinian from East Jerusalem, and I am the co-founder and co-creator of Unapologetic, the third narrative. That is our podcast.
My name is Evelyn. I'm an Israeli-American Jew. When you're in a space with such a complex identity, you also have all these different circles that you're a part of, that you have these polarizing conversations, and you don't know where you fit in amongst all of those different bubbles, all those different communities. So whether it's the Israeli community or the American Jewish community or both, everyone's having a different conversation about the same thing. It's a lonely space because no one really wants to talk about the elephant in the room. No one wants to talk about the responsibility or the bad parts of our history. And we all want to feel seen, but we're not doing the seeing as well. In the only Jewish state in the world, we're creating this trauma for another group of people. And it's in our name. And that's something that we need to talk about. We can't ignore it. The same way we don't want other people to ignore our trauma and our pain in the way that we want to feel seen, we need to make other people feel seen as well. And that's the only way we'll be able to actually get to a point where we are able to, live peacefully with each other. You start with acknowledging, listening to each other, understanding why that person is in pain, what caused that pain, and how can we be there for one another? How can we support each other?
We started having a lot of conversations after October 7th, like a lot of transparent conversations, and it was really difficult in the beginning. But then after the podcast started, the conversation started to shift in a different direction of more understanding. And instead, because in the beginning there was a lot of expression that was needed, and I don't know if there was space either for you or for me to actually embrace the other. And when it's a friend, it's or someone very, very dear to you, it's difficult to say the dehumanizing thing, even if you believe it and even if it's ingrained in your narrative. So now we work on the podcast, on the third narrative together.
Yeah, those conversations that we were having initially were really triggering for me because I was listening from the way that it affected me, not the way that it affected Amira. So it was hard for us to actually see each other because we were speaking from two different ends of the spectrum. And then over time, we were able to sort of bridge the gap. And I think that's where we are today.
So I remember after, maybe the second day, you had literal friends that you were checking on.
From the Nova Fest. I ended up seeing some of the footage on Telegram, and it was so graphic. And I think the exposure to all of the violence has made our climate what it is right now. The fact that we all have access to see what happened on October 7th and to see what's happening since October 7th, the last 9+ months, we have it at the palm of our hands. And I think that's causing so much universal trauma. It's allowing us to understand that these things are happening and we need to make sure that they stop happening. How do we do that?